to New York.
That's the beauty of being fine. You could need a haircut, whatever, blah, blah, blah. It always shines. I'm sure the whole audience will agree with me. Welcome, everybody, to VPR Radio with your girl, Qianathegoddess, and the one and only, the amazing and the phenomenally talented DJ FMI. What's up, partner?
I'm here, VPR. I know last week we had a guest lined up, but we definitely have him back this week. I'm gonna take full responsibility of last week's episode, guys. I've been caught up running around with shows. The summer's starting, festivals. VPR has events. A lot is going on here at VPR. So,
it is what it is. I mean, I think that, and that's the beauty of our audience, and that's the beauty of our platform and what we do, is that it makes room for all of our ventures. And we all know you are a very seasoned serial entrepreneur. So you have your hands on a lot of things, and you take VPR everywhere you go. And likewise, you know what I mean? So it's like we have to respect as future and current and, you know, brothers and sisters in entrepreneurship and the hustle. I always respect it. That's why I was like, oh, okay. Because partner, first of all, the fact that if everyone doesn't know, Wednesday nights, you're doing this whole night event with all of these artists. You're putting New York on tilt. All right. You're putting Staten Island on the map again versus when Wu-Tang did it. Because really, when it comes to hip hop and music, let's keep it real. The whole Shaolin gang, they are known, but no one else can really affiliate much of hip hop with it, even though there's a lot of talent there. So you have been bringing that out. You're up all night, probably getting back 6, 5 in the morning.
Exactly 6, 5 in the morning.
Waking up to do VPR, and then God knows what else you're editing. Like, you guys should see this guy. We've left the studio and he's just like editing on the way. He'll be send me a video. I'm like, partner, didn't you just drive away 4 minutes ago? He's like, yeah, I pulled over. I had to edit this real quick. I'm like, oh,
VPR. Sometimes when you get content, I'm a content creator, you know what I mean? So half the time my time is spent in a studio, sitting there editing in a dark room somewhere, or with a coffee in my hand, or long story short is when you have a good shot and when you just have a great podcast episode and it really resonates with you, you want to listen to that content. Not only do I create the content, I actually want to create something that I want to listen to. And hopefully you guys want to listen to when we're not on air live. So check out our Spotify, our Apple Music, and all of our streaming platforms just to get.
We're on all of them. We're Audible on Amazon to iHeartRadio, Google, everywhere. We're everywhere. So you can find us everywhere.
But Qiana, so I know I'm going to be running out of the States for a few, but as soon as we land back in, you want to tie back in with some of the events that we have coming up for VPR with Team Money in the pop-up shop?
Oh, absolutely. So that's June 23rd in Brooklyn. We're going to be streaming live. So we're actually going to be doing our VPR radio that day directly from the art studio. We're extremely excited about that. So make sure you guys tune in because it's real. And shout out to Team Money. You know, so much love for him. I mean, that's like love from love. And it's crazy how, like, from watching him on TV, you know what I'm saying? From the time
having him in front of you.
And now that's family. Like, dude,
I still watch him on TV weekly. I still watch him on TV. Shout out to Team Money. I can't give enough flowers for that man. He has done so much for hip hop. I love it. Just the culture in general. Yes. You know, this pop-up event that we have coming up, it is an open mic. I know a lot of artists have been reaching out, especially from the Winning Wednesday showcase. It is an open mic. We're going to solidify the information as far as performances. So for the artists that are contacting me, I'm going to look out into that, and I'll definitely have those answers for you after the podcast today. So make sure you watch.
To the best, baby. That's right. Bring them out.
You know, Qiana, and you touched on something earlier too. Like, you know, I'm sitting here throwing these showcases, and I'm not even thinking about the fact of, wow, you know, Wu-Tang was from Staten Island. I'm blocks away. I'm still throwing these events, and I'm having artists from all over, from PA, from Boston, and to start it in Staten Island and to have them coming to Staten Island at that.
That's not normal.
All these artists and all the people that actually attend the event, buy drinks and have a good time and actually show these artists love. Because I feel like we don't get that enough.
And especially in New York.
Yeah, you know what I mean? There's a lot of New York rappers, and right now it's a time where you can capitalize on your small super fan. Right. Whereas you don't gotta always listen to the Travis Scott. How about you put on some Shammy Bed-Stuy Baby, some Flea Savage, some 86?
That's what I'm
saying. How about you get those on? How about you get some Clef music on? How about you get some Roll-A-Rama? You know what I mean? And you could check that out here on VPR with these unsigned artists. that are coming from all over the world. We have
all over the world, from Australia, New Zealand. We have artists from Africa, everybody reaching out. So many different people. We're so appreciative of our guests, like just thinking about this money, right? And our affiliation and our familyhood in this culture and how real it is. And all of the amazing people that we have interviewed up until this point and continue to interview. It's just, I love watching VPR unveil and us being able to really set the narrative for bringing positive figures and highlighting them and highlighting the good that they're doing and really educating and imparting knowledge on people and not out here just on some F shit.
You know, Qiana, so this between me and you, and of course all of you.
Everybody else.
But there always comes a point where I'm out and I'm doing events. You know me, I have multiple business cards, so I'm handing them out, and people ask me, "What do you do?" Mm-hmm. And you know, I branch off and I segue into VPR and what we do here, and they say, "So are you about invoking change, hip hop?" And I'm just like, "I'm about all of that."
Right.
You know what I mean? And I feel like when I have these conversations with other entities, and they're so taken aback by VPR's stance upon being positive and actually trying to teach the music industry and different entrepreneurship, you know, things that we do here, that they get lost in the sauce a little bit, because they'll watch an episode, and you'll get an episode of VPR where we'll sit down with a doctor and we'll have these conversations stemming from systematic racism, things like that. And then we'll come right back to Kylie Jenner out here bugging, but she's not embracing the hip hop culture, but she's getting all of the hip hop. You know what I'm saying? So it's things like that in the conversations.
How do we change that narrative so that we're taking our dollars and putting them back into our neighborhoods, our communities, our ownership?
Yeah, it's big here on accountability, and I feel like for this year, I'm big on that, and we have to look amongst ourselves in our communities instead of looking out to other communities asking for help or a handout, because apparently it's not going to happen. You know what I mean? We could be honest right now. We could look on the TV right now. 10 to 15, 20 minutes ago, there was another shooting in Tulsa, Oklahoma.
Right.
4 people dead at a hospital.
Right.
So we have to do something to bring change amongst ourselves. It's not going to be from our government. They don't want to get rid of guns.
To protect ourselves, right? That's a big part of it as well, right? Mm-hmm. Because as a Black community, as a community of color, period, you're very unprotected in this country. And I think that we know that already. It's pretty blatant when you look and see, but the answer to how we actually unify to help protect one another, right? Protect our community, protect our cultures, protect our brothers and sisters, and embrace one another as such. You know, that's a much greater conversation and movement, and everyone has to be ready to do so.
I just feel like
on it.
You know, VPR, as the days go by, mass shootings are becoming a more of a prevalent thing, which they always were. But it's every 8 days now we have one. You cannot go to a hospital. You cannot go to a grocery store. You can't go to a mall, movie. We have to figure something out, you know, and it goes bigger than gun control, because you could try to take guns off the street, same time, criminals are going to get them. Mm-hmm. It has to be something in between. You know what I mean? I see some people having the argument, you know, Qiana, of, oh, you ban guns, or you should ban steel because steel make knives and knives kill people. I get that may be an extreme. Yeah, it's not the same, but
think about everything that's been banned, right? Liquor was banned. There was prohibition in the 20s. They were still making liquor, right? It was on the black market.
Criminals will be criminals.
The price for guns will probably go up because of the supply and demand, but they'll still be made. Cocaine is still on the streets. Fentanyl is still, all of these things that are banned are still in circulation, because when there's a will, there's a way, right? Like you said, criminals are still going to be criminals. Like that's not going to,
you know what I mean?
That's a lifelong job.
Criminals are going to be criminals. If they wake up, you could take away their tool. Somebody's going to be like, you know what? Took away my gun. I'm going to grab a hammer.
Yep.
I just think we're getting to a point where it's like the officers are looking at the civilians to defend themselves. But then when the civilians carry these weapons, or when the civilians are of a certain ethnicity, then the conversation changes. We do not need these civilians to carry these weapons.
Right.
So if you need your teacher to do the job that the police officer does in the classroom, other than teach your kid, be able to hit a target from 20 miles away or 30 meters away, whatever the case may be.
Yeah.
You need them to be a professional sniper.
Right.
Teacher,
that's a problem.
Caregiver.
Teachers already aren't even paid enough, bro.
Like, you know what I mean? It's like you ask a DJ to do the music, to edit the flyer, to promote the event. Right. At what point
to host the event?
You know what I mean? So there's accountability in this. You sign up. I was looking at the Uvalde shooting, and now they're going back and forth with the cops actually trying to get into the building, and 45 minutes have passed. And the U.S. Border Patrol, he was actually getting a haircut. The customs agent or whatever, he was getting a haircut. He looked at his barber because he attended an event, Qiana, early on in the day, and he seen what was happening with the shooting live. He asked his barber for a gun. He got his shotgun, went to the school, rescued his daughter and his wife, and then he ended up engaging the shooter while the cops were waiting there. Wow. So you know what I mean? It's getting to a point where what if that man didn't take the initiative? Because the cops are there, they were probably doing the best job they can, but man that was getting his haircut.
Were they doing the best job that they could? Were they?
I don't know, but there's children dead. So
we had one shooter in the building. One unarmed black man gets taken down with 38 bullets. Okay. One armed black man in his own home gets taken down with a massive bullets as he's protecting himself.
You seen the pregnant woman that got shot the other day, 2 days ago? A pregnant woman with her hands up got shot.
I read about it, and
you know what I mean?
I always am in these situations was devastated and heartbroken because where does it end? You know what I mean? And that's why I said, like, the black man, the black woman were the most unprotected creatures in America and on this planet, quite frankly. You know, there's definitely some areas of the world that don't lead in racial disparity and racism, but a lot of them do. Where you find the colonizers, you will find racism. Where countries have been, plundered and turned into something that they weren't. South Africa, places like Europe, Egypt, Ethiopia. Where you find the colonizers, you will find the racism.
What was it? The last month where we had JD? I'm forgetting our guest, JD. Remember what he said when he went? So, you know what I mean? That has stuck with me in that conversation. Guys, definitely check out that interview that we had with JD.
Oh yeah, he'll be back actually.
Brief for what? Go read that.
Oh yeah.
A shameless plug here, but these are the conversations that need to be had on VPR. And when you sit down with your family, you sit down with your children, your brothers and sisters, your family, your fathers, just know, you know what I mean? Being in America right now, as great as it may be, this gun violence is only taking a bigger uptick, and it's bigger than taking away the guns. We need to address mental health. I know it's being echoed, but apparently these people are all under 18 to 20, and they're being able to buy an AR. You know what I mean? To the point where, Qiana, I was just like, I woke up the other morning, and I was just like, what would be my experience purchasing an AR? And I thought about documenting this, and just to see, let me see if I can do this. Let me vlog this.
You should.
So VPR, you know what I mean? I'm looking into
a great little undercover scope, partner. I got it. I
wanted to make it into like a mini documentary or something like that, because I feel like this needs to be addressed. I want you to see through my eyes as a black male, what I would have to do legally with no felonies. No records.
No criminal background.
No criminal background. Let's see my experience. And I'm going to shoot that and try to bring it to YouTube or a platform that would allow me to upload it. And I want you guys to watch it and then go from there. You know what I mean? And then we could do it for someone of a different color too, because I already have that lined up, and that's what I'm looking forward to.
Hello.
And then let's come back and have the conversation in a week.
You're so brilliant.
And hopefully there won't be another shooting. Hopefully there won't be another body. Hopefully there won't be another funeral. Maybe So
have lost their lives so needlessly, and to their families, we do. There's so much love, because it's the only energy that can help to combat so much of this hate. There's no words that can be spoken to a parent that just lost their young child. I'm a mother of 6, 2 are young. I cannot even imagine the scope of their grief and the depth, and I can't I can empathize, but I cannot try to understand it because I've never felt it.
Just just seeing those parents rush that building and trying to get in. I don't have a kid and I felt that pain. You saying that just now made me feel, because I'm just like, they feel like my kids. Your kid, you know what I mean? So I would go above and beyond.
And that's how I feel about all children. You know, I've always, children always love me, been attracted toward me, children and animals, you know. And so for me, all children are my children. You know, I talk to all the children, I play with all the babies. And it's like, you don't want to see any child. I want to protect any child that I see in front of me that is in harm. So I cannot even imagine. And no, I'm sorry, but you can't tell me that one armed shooter against 40, you know, trained, and they just had officers. Are you freaking kidding me?
Qiana, they just had
more casualties in the minute you storm that building and you take him out.
It says it in their paperwork where they're supposed to follow. They're supposed to storm the building if they have an active shooter and engage. Also, they just had a previous. They had a training 2 months prior of active shooter training. The department. So what are you saying? And then now they're not communicating. They actually stopped communicating with the investigations. I'm like, the police department is not, because y'all have a lot of questions to answer. You don't want to communicate now. I'm gonna say, I wish I could take that.
It's such hypocrisy, but I think that's why when you hear dismantling the police force, I think a lot of people get the wrong idea, like taking police away. Like that's impossible, right? You can't take away some form of authority or there will be anarchy. You know what I'm saying? But there needs to be new leadership. There needs to be new teaching. There needs to be mental health. You touching on mental health, that's especially imperative when it comes to people that are now in a place of authority and holding a gun. You think that they can be mentally on the unwind or racist? Should racists be able to become officers of the law? Absolutely not. There needs to be thorough evaluation of these individuals that you're putting in power. And unfortunately, because it's been a good old boy, just like politics type of situation, it's often just a carry down, right? It's a lot of nepotism. You don't have to go through all of this elite training. Like, even if you think back to some of these smaller European countries like Denmark and such, they have, first of all, very few shootings, if any, right? Even when it comes to casualties and criminals, they don't use excessive force very often. Their killings are like in the tens. And I don't mean tens of thousands, I mean tens. Okay, like we had 14 shootings last year for one entire year, which is crazy because when you think about,
go up in a month, we got 100 and something
per capita and stuff. But also, there's so many different things that are in place, like universal health care, right? Like universal education. I'm training in Google Analytics, and Google has done this World Happiness Score. And these countries are the happiness because they make more money, they have more time with their children, they have an elevated way of life. And so even the criminals are like, little minor, you know what I mean? Their jails aren't pouring out of people. You think about how, like you said, systemically, things are put in place for human beings to react as such, just as if you put rats out in the field and let them thrive, or if you put rats in a cage, they're going to behave differently.
For me, it's all upon personal interest. And just because you bringing up people going back on the TV, they were just talking about people going back to work now. They want to get all the people that's used to this on and off schedule as far as working at home to come back to work now in the offices. The city's pushing for it. The mayor's pushing for it. And I'm just like, the companies are like, no, they're happier at home. We're making more money. Why would I pay to put them in an office space and spend more money from the company's eyes to have them there when I don't need them there anymore?
Right.
Now they're having a discrepancy with the city. The city's like, no, we need all our city workers back in our seats, and all the other big companies need to follow suit. Right. Because we want our money back in transportation. We want our money back, right? We want our money back in this, and then going to the store. We want our money back.
When it doesn't make sense, why pay overhead for an office, right? What I think COVID, and shout out to JD because I see him on the live right now, and I want to definitely speak his comment because he's always got so much.
I wish I could see this live, guys. Let me
you know what's weird, FMI, is that you see different things because sometimes I see you engaging and I definitely don't see all of the comments. So shout out to you guys. I definitely come back after we're live and I follow up because it's hard to do it while we're here, but we don't get them in real time, you guys, with the comments. So please, if
you write them, and we will get to them though. We'll address them as soon as we see them.
We will absolutely get to you. But mental health is a huge thing. So JD said, if we can get the young folks to recognize the mental illness of our culture, maybe they will value the healing process. Social responsibility is real responsibility. Absolutely. And that's it right there, right? Because it begins, we can't begin from the top and go to the bottom. We got to start with the children, right? Because now they're learning, they're implementing new things, they're seeing what their parents do and repeating the behavior. That's just learned human behavior, right? With instinct, you follow what you know. If you're raised under a narcissist, you either become a narcissist or you become an empath, right? It's one or the other value of that level, because you can either directly learn how to be that or say, I don't want to be that. I hate that type of individual.
That's true.
And that is what human behavior is. And that's what we're seeing. And when there's not education, when there's not, equity in being able to be financially secure, in being able to learn so that you can get some skills and actually go out and go to college and not go into debt for $100,000. If you can learn and not constant negativity because of your environment, and learn that you don't have to be a product of that, it can change things. And when those thought processes change, then that's when the actions change and we actually see things. But of course, we know that that's not what the leaders and the great
it's not programmed for that.
That's not what the programming is about. We love you right back, JD, for real. We can't wait to have you back on VPR. But that's not what the programming is about.
And the new reality, like I was sitting there in the car, the new reality is that your child or any child can go to school and potentially get murdered. That they're selling, they said the bulletproof backpacks are up by 1,800%. You understand, these bags are selling for like what, $200-$300.
That is
parents are, parents are actively opting to buy backpacks that are bulletproof for their children.
And what about the children that can't afford the bulletproof? I mean, the parents that can't afford them, right? We still have the inequity. Now we have the inequity in how to keep our children safe from shootings.
Our former president got up in front of the NRA and said, we need doors with locks on them from the inside. And they need to be bulletproof. And I looked at him like,
just like Crazy Joe with the fire. Remember, Lean on Me? Okay.
I'm just like, America, VPR, I have not looked to our president to evoke change upon anything. I feel like I have to do that for my community, and you should feel the same. Because me and you deal with one another. We see him on TV. We hear about the things he wants to do. But I see you right now.
Facts. You know
is
what?
He reachable? Or, you know what I mean? So what can we do right here?
Tangibly.
Instead of looking to see what they can do for us here. That's where I'm getting at now.
The diamonds and the gems that you just dropped on that.
But in other news, Qiana, Joe Biden actually interviewed Isaiah Rashad. I'm not too familiar if you listen to Isaiah Rashad.
I don't.
He's an artist under TDE. Kendrick's camp. Well, Kendrick's not there anymore, but what happened was there was some bickering going back and forth, and like 2-3 months ago, a video shows up online of him, having sex with 2 men. And, in hip hop, it's Lil Nas X was the first one to break that mold. Frank Ocean, of course, showing his side.
Right.
So when they seen, and it ended up on Twitter, it got shared everywhere, the Shade Room.
Right.
And he went radio silent because picture you're going on stage, rocking out, you're rapping all that rah-rah. And then they see you with 2 men, doing your thing. So Joe Budden finally got the interview with Isaiah Rashad from TDE. He went radio silent. Top Dog Entertainment was just like, you know what I mean? And he was just talking about his sexuality. And he said, what were you thinking at that moment? And he was just like, I was surprised. He was like, first off, I wanted to know what sex tape got out. And I'm like, bro, you need to hide your sex tape. But at this point, I don't even know what to do with you. In this point, what are you doing? But he said he's sexually fluid. And when he said that, I was just like, you know what? I'm never to question anyone's sexuality and what they want, preference.
Right.
But to address it in hip hop and seeing how hip hop stopped pushing his music to a certain degree.
Yeah.
He wasn't getting playlisted to a certain degree.
Which is very hypocritical because Nas X was at the top of every station in Billboard. You know what I'm saying?
For me, I guess it's because he's a hip hop star and he's more bravado.
Mm-hmm.
He's a deep hip hop star. He's what would I say, backpack rapper. I don't want to call him that, but he's dope. I ain't gonna say I didn't like his music, or I don't like his music, but it's just interesting to see now how we're at this point where it's like your sexual preference is still a rollout. You getting caught in media for doing what you love is still a thing. After Kim Kardashian and people releasing sex tapes, I don't even see the point in trying to gauge people's sexuality online anymore or bad people. You know what I'm saying, Qiana? And I'm glad to see that after all of this, he still had an interview where he was confident about what he was saying.
You have to be.
And that could,
at the end of the day, the best thing you can do is own your shit, right? Because if you own your shit, nobody can use it against you, right? If you're keeping it real, nobody can say, oh, I've got something to drop on you. You know what I mean? Like, be who you are. I mean, it's Pride Month, right? Happy Pride to everyone.
Yeah, happy Pride Month. Shout out to everybody. You know what I'm saying?
You're not hurting anybody else. I really don't care what you're doing in the bedroom. If your music is dope, you know what I'm saying? Live your life. Just be who you are and don't be a hypocrite. Don't be being sexually fluid and then talking about gay people and transsexuals. Like, you're one of them.
Yeah, you are part.
You're part of the LGBTQ, fam, and it's okay. You know what I mean? But I see that
I'll be champion it. Like, why not?
Period. I see that our guest has pulled up. Definitely want to bring him up. We unfortunately weren't able to connect last week because we were having some issues, but we have him this week. What's up, Jay? Welcome to VPR Radio. How are you?
What's up, y'all? How y'all doing?
We're doing great.
All right, man.
Yeah, we're happy to have you here this week. We know that you're doing big things. Shout out to Yvonne who connected us. We were excited to have you here on VPR today.
Yeah, I'm excited too. I thought we was gonna get it in last week, but
I know.
Jay, I'm gonna VPR just so we have it on the record. I finished up a showcase late that night. I got home at like 5 a.m, and by the time I had to wake up for the studio, boom. That's how I wanted to apologize, just because
it's all good.
Yeah,
I felt crazy. I woke up, looked at, I was like, "What's going on?"
I was just worried about my part. I was like, I hope he's oversleep, because that's what I thought. That's where my mind went to. But I'm like, this is just a crazy world. Like, I got to make sure my partner is good. You feel me?
You never know what's going on too.
You never know what's going on. And we're never not in touch. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. So when I was like, I didn't hear from him, and now it's 11:30 and I didn't hear from him. Something is crazy. Or he's sleeping. That's okay.
Jay, the one and only Jay Coates. How are you feeling this morning, my brother?
I'm good, man. I can't complain at all. I'm happy to be here. I'm excited. We just dropped a new record.
Yeah. Tell us about it. 2
days ago, Lessons to Blessings. It was a song I made it. I wouldn't say a while ago, but I made it some time ago. And it was one of those vibes where me and my lady, I think I had went through something, and I kind of got caught. You know how players. Now I ain't gonna say how players be, but we all go through it, man. Sometimes you may, just be scrolling on the gram. It wasn't nothing too serious, but like, as a musician, when I create, I like to put it and make it the word. So the Lessons to Blessings is all about, how sometimes you got to go through something to realize that, your blessing was already there. So that's all it's about. So yeah, I'm excited. We just dropped that 2 days ago, and it's doing pretty well.
So
I love how you said
how
that.
long have you been doing music? That's my question to you, because I looked at some of your tracks on YouTube, your Signs record. I'm like, I'm loving it. I'm like, all right. So how long have you been doing music?
I've been doing music for about, I would say 8 years, since around 2013, 2014. Yeah, since then. I started once I got out of high school, and I had kind of went to college. I started doing playing around doing music in towards the end of high school. But then when I got into college is when I started taking it serious. It was literally sports, and then music just kind of took over the sports, and I kind of just started.
So the same discipline you have for music, the same discipline you have for sports, you apply it to music?
Yeah, it's fun. I was just talking to my boy about this the other day, because we both got kids or whatever, and he was like, "Yeah, I put my son in sports early," and I was like, "Man, I kind of want my son to show me, that he kind of want to play sports." But he was like, "Bro, we might have to introduce him first, and then we just start talking about the morals and the work ethic, the integrity, and all the things, the little things that sports teach you. You know, it's like those little attributes that, like, if you play with another teammate, then you know how to work on a team. It's like all those little things, you know what I'm saying, that add up. So yeah, I think if you take the lessons from sports and apply it to anything, I think that you could be successful for sure.
Yeah, I agree with that, because it's all about discipline, right? Whatever kind of career, whether you want to be a doctor, a lawyer, an engineer, there's some discipline that has to be applied there, and there's some learning. So you started music, you said like late high school. What was your influence? Like, were you into music a lot when you were younger? Do you have musicians in your family? What influenced you to take that step and say, I actually want to do music? How did you even know that you had talent?
Right. So when I was younger, my mom told me, like, cause I had the same question. I didn't remember my music history. You know, when you're young and then you get older and you go through other stuff, you kind of forget them 4th grade, 5th, maybe 6th grade years, and earlier than that, you forget all that stuff. But my mom used to tell me, I used to come home with permission slips to like be in plays, and I used to play the drum. I played the violin. But these were like super, super early on. As I kind of got to middle school and high school, all my friends was playing sports, and music wasn't like super, super big in my area, from South Jersey or whatever. So I would say, like, as a musician, we're kind of like the first ones trying to break the mold from like around here when it comes to that. But when I was younger, yeah, I got into the sports, and then once I fell out of love with that, I like the music just was coming. My cousin actually got hurt our senior year, and he couldn't play football for the rest of the year, and so he decided to start doing music. But at this time, I'm still playing football, but he's dropping songs while we in school and all that. So I'm getting influenced little by little, and since it was my family, I was like, bro, you might as well just take me to the studio with you. You know what I'm saying? So he took me to the studio.
That life-changing moment.
Yep. He took me to the studio one day, and it was history. Like, I fell in love. So then after that, I continued to try to play sports. When I went to college, I was, faking everybody out, even though I was still recording and practice. I'm singing melodies and all crazy stuff. So yeah, and I lived off campus, you know what I'm saying? So it was hard to kind of build that connection with my teammates, and really just to be involved in the whole college experience, playing football. I wasn't getting the full experience or whatever. Maybe it's an excuse, but hey, it made me and took me to where I am today, you know what I'm saying? So I know it was destined.
Yeah. You got to follow your passion. And I'm sure the dudes in the locker room were like, yo, stop singing.
Yeah.
We're trying to play our moves.
Yeah, they did. And even in high school, like, I used to hum and all that kind of stuff. I was actually in a group before, and with my cousin that influenced me in high school. Mm-hmm. We actually got into a group when I came back home from college after I got done.
Like a boy band or regular?
Yeah, nah, we wasn't a boy band. We was like more like, I ain't gonna say like some Migos type style, but like with a singer, because I was singing and them two was rapping, and they was cool with the lyrics, you know what I'm saying? And I sung, and we carried it well for a long time. I think.
Group.
Huh?
What was the name of the group?
It was called Black Gang, BLAKGANG, but it stood for Brotherhood, Loyalty, and Kinship. So we was just, we was just all about positivity and putting the city on. Yep.
Here we go.
We still got music out today, man. If y'all go listen to it, it's actually
That's
really.
Why I asked,
I'm not thinking. We on VPR. They gonna listen to it, Jay.
Yeah, it's still fire.
The roots.
It's still fire for
sure. So Jay, tell me a few of your musical influences. Like, what artists, if I go through your phone, would you be listening to now? Some of your favorite artists that gave you inspiration to do music.
Right. I would definitely say Chris Brown, Drake.
Hold on. Chris Brown, where? We got early Chris Brown when he was saying, "Excuse me, miss," or we saying like older Chris Brown when he was doing all the like the thugging.
No, whole career Chris Brown for real. I'm a fan, because when he came out with Yo, I just remember I was young, and at the time, like I said, at that time I was involved in sports and stuff, so I wasn't trying to be no musical genius at that time. So if I was, then I probably would have been like, not, you know, but it made me a fan early because nobody was really, I never seen nothing like that. You know what I'm saying? The dance.
I never seen nobody dance in the street, sing to a girl
Yeah,
like that. Light skin, when he came out, I was like, what the fuck?
Right. And then even when it got more edgier, even when the music got a little bit more edgier, I still was a fan. You know what I'm saying? Being like where I'm from in Camden, New Jersey, man, you just be lucky. You know what I'm saying?
I drove through Camden once on the way to Philly at night, so I know Camden is real. I respect it. I'm from Brooklyn, but I respect it.
But it's getting a lot better, man. And what we used to be known for, you know what I'm saying? We ain't trying to be known for that no more. You know what I'm saying? We got people going to the NBA. We got people going to the NFL and doing a thing, really holding it down, changing the culture. We got doctors coming up. You know what I'm saying? We got lawyers, and we got working people. You know what I'm saying? People that want more and want better for themselves. And for real, that's all it's about for the community.
And I feel like, you know, just being from different parts of different neighborhoods, I feel like uplifting the culture, just like what we were talking about, and actually holding ourselves accountable.
Right.
The thing, you know what I mean? The first thing I said about Camden is real. The second thing that came out your mouth was you're changing the culture there, and I love that. You know what I mean?
Right.
Doctors, NBA players, and that's what it is. It really takes that to change a community, and especially
they just need to see it. We just got to see it. Once we see it, then we could go get it. But if we don't know it exists, you know what I'm saying? Then it's hard.
That's completely true. We were just talking about that in depth actually before you came in. You know, it's what you see in your environment that you're often directly influenced by. And you said, you know, NBA players, NFL, but you also said doctors and lawyers. Like, you know, my oldest daughter is becoming a marine biologist, and very, very few people of color, right, in that
profession. Wow.
STEM, you don't see when we used to go to these different STEM programs, like they had this whole Gen Space scholarship that they got. It was an incredible program. They got like a nice stipend for it and everything. And she was going regularly every week, and everything that she was learning was just beyond. But when it came to like people of color, it was Nigerians, it was people that had come in from Honduras. So there were immigrants of color, but everybody else was Asian or European. You know what I mean? So if you change the narrative and show that, yes, you can do this, and no, you don't have to have the football talent or the musical talent. Everyone's not going to be gifted in those multitude of ways, but you could be gifted as a mathematician, as a scientist, as a doctor. You can go after these other dreams. And like you said, when they see it, it becomes attainable. So that's so important.
Very, very, very important.
My next question to you is, so you went to college, correct? And high school. Did you think that helped push the music for you? Did you tell anybody you were doing music? Did you perform any shows, open mics? No, you just kept it.
No, yeah.
I didn't
really, like most of I got a lot of people that support me, that grew up with me, and that graduated with me. Even if I don't know they support me, I know that they do, because just my class, you know what I'm saying, and who I was in my class. I know it's like support from a distance. I understand some people, we all get older, we grown, we got lives, you know what I'm saying? So I make sure I get up every day and I promote, you know, so I can meet new people. So I'm always just focused on meeting new people, new relationships. You know what I'm saying? I love the ones that I already got, but you know, we're gonna keep building, we're gonna keep going.
And I love that, Qiana. You see, I deal with so many artists every day where I'm doing these events, while I'm bringing them on shows and festivals with me. And they're like, yo, FMI, I'm going to need you to promote. FMI, I need a fly. I'm just like, you have to understand, if you ain't promoting yourself and you can't get your 5 to 10 people out,
that's a problem.
Why am I introducing you to the 100 that I'm bringing out on my name?
That's a fact.
Of course.
We all doing business here. You know what I mean? I ain't mad at you. At least be humble with it. You know what I mean? And a lot of artists move down the line, bro. So to see you moving this in that direction, I can appreciate it as a DJ, bro.
Yeah.
Say that.
And we talk about this all the time, right? If you are serious about your career, you have to approach it as such. You have to invest your time. You have to invest your money. You have to invest your energy. You have to be disciplined. Right? And you have to promote. You have to take those steps. You have to have the right team of people around you. And it's a step-by-step basis, but it's like building anything else. If you want to be successful and you want it to create an income, you know, frankly.
You know, it's funny, and I talk about that because I went to the Revolt conference And I was in Atlanta not too long ago, and I heard Rick Ross talking, and he was just talking about his story. And you know, we hear a lot of different successful people's stories. Steve Harvey, he slept in his car. Kevin Hart, I think, was on the road traveling. You hear all these success stories, and as you get 8 years in, 9 years in, 10 years into trying to do whatever it is your dream is, or those are the years that really count. Those are the years that really make or break. Those are the years that it's like, man, if you'd have took that one step, then you would have made it. But if you stop, then you will never know. So I'm right there in those stories. I'm in that realm of, man, like I wake up every day and I don't know where it's gonna come from, but I know I put so much work in. I know that the music is good, and I know that I'm blessed. You know what I'm saying? So the cards gotta fall in my favor sometime.
And Qiana, I feel like people get lost in that falsity of just like the dream, you know, the dream aspect of making it as an aspiring musician, the dream aspect of making it as an NBA player, to the point where it's just like they'll run away from school. Certain people will be like, I don't want to go to college. That's too much. It's too much work. But you pursuing this music is the same amount of work. You just don't know it.
That's
you still putting the 6 hours towards it, just like you do in college. When they ask you to go home and study, you still got to do that. You got to study Instagram, TikTok, learn algorithms. You got to know who to network with.
Right. Yes. When it comes to your own personal, I can tell you, I work harder for myself than I've ever worked for anyone. Okay. In life. You understand me? In life. And I used to work my ass off, but you know, I'm pretty smart. So when I learned that in work, I was often ahead of the game, I'd slow it down. Or, you know, I'd be like, oh, okay, well, I'm communicating with China, so I'll work at home late and then I'll come in later. I'd find my way to make it be my own kind of freedom because that's what I craved. And I didn't know it. But now what? I'm pushing and pushing and pushing and pushing. So like, okay, my head hurts. Let me put this computer down. Okay, I got to do it's one of the most beautiful days that we had this weekend. I was writing here studying data analysis, and I was like, I'm gonna do this all day until night, and tomorrow I'll go to the beach, and that's my reward. And that's what I did.
I know that's right.
But if it were work, I'd have been like, oh, I'm calling out.
So Jay,
you know what I'm saying? So that
I won't blame you.
That work ethic is everything. And you're absolutely right. I think a lot of people look at the end, the success story. Right? Think about Steve Jobs. Think about the failures people have had to be through. Think about Jay-Z, who couldn't get signed. So he made his own.
I always say, on my downing day, I always say, hey, think about 2 Chainz. He was not 2 Chainz when he started. He was Titty Boy, signed to Ludacris, got off that situation, renamed himself, rebranded himself, built it back up, got on a song with Lil Wayne, took off.
You rebrand. That's right. And you work. Without the dream, you know, the dream is great. The dream is the idea, the idea, the conception. The reality is pairing the work with it. You got to put those steps forward. You can't just be like, I wish. When you put those steps forward and you're living in it, the universe will feed you. That's the beautiful thing. It's a beautiful and scary thing to be in that sort of like energy.
Realm.
That realm, right?
It's like you got to walk by faith.
You are walking, and that's exactly what you're doing. You're walking by faith, because sometimes you're like, I don't know where it's going to come from, but I know it's going to come, and it comes. You know what I mean? And
I'm gonna tell y'all a little story. When I was 13 years old or 14 years old, I had came home one day, and my parents, I'm the baby of 6 kids, so I got all older brothers and sisters. So my parents was like, yeah, your cousin throwing a tattoo party or whatever. So I'm like, all right, y'all telling me I can't get no tattoo. I'm 14. So we get there, all my brothers and sisters is getting tattoos. So like I looked at my parents in a certain way, and they like, all right, you could get one, right? So it probably, everybody getting their tattoos, it probably took multiple hours. Everybody was getting like little tattoos or whatever. So I had all that time to come up with what I wanted to get tattooed. So I'm thinking, and I couldn't think of nothing. But the first thing that I got tattooed was faith, the word faith in the middle of my back right here. And I never knew why. I was 14 and I just wanted the word faith. You know what I'm saying? But it's these days now, these 8 years, these 9 years, these 10 years in, where it's like, I know why I got that tattoo now. I know why I needed it. I know why I got it. I couldn't explain it in the beginning.
Yeah.
But, you know what I'm saying? Now I know.
You were manifesting and you didn't even know it. You were a young manifesting into the universe about what your future was going to be. That's beautiful. Speaking of the future, tell us about your future. Tell us about what you look forward to doing the rest of this year. If you have any performances or anything coming up that we
I want to hear about these albums and singles too, Jay. You ain't gonna leave me without talking about these albums and singles, Jay.
And make sure you get us all your music. It'll definitely go up on our Spotify playlist. We always show our artists.
All right, yeah, I'll make sure the team get that to y'all. I'm really excited, man. I got the video ready for Lessons to Blessings. I just dropped the live performance video last night with the single. So I got the regular performance video, but I'm just waiting. I'll probably wait a week and then I'll probably put that out. But as far as the tape, I'm gearing up. I got so much good music. Over the last year, especially when the pandemic hit, I was able to really lock in. This studio that I'm in, this is the studio down here at the office. So I'm literally here 24 hours. If I'm not here, then I'm with my kids. And so all I do is create. I got a big bag like Santa Claus full of music. And really it's just a matter of subject for me and a matter of timing. What I want to put out to the world, how I want to put it out. Because, you know, when I do get, 5-10 more years more down the line, I want to look back at my portfolio like, dang, that was a young genius, you know what I'm saying? So that's the perception, and that's how I want to be taken. So I'm just moving real careful. That's all. But I'm excited, man. I got some bombs.
I love it. Meticulous with his moves. That's a true businessman as well as a creator. You know what I mean? So those elements together is absolutely success. Shout out to you, Venus. We appreciate you. Definitely shout out to Can I Buy all of your cannabis needs right there for my girl. And FMI, you have another question?
I'm saying it now. I feel away, Qiana. It is VPR Thursday. I'm feeling happy. I'm like, I'm for the rest of the day. If I'm not bumping Jay's music, I don't want to hear nothing. He told me on the first video VPR. You know what I'm saying? Now he's gonna hold the records back because he's properly planning his rollout. And
he said he's being strategic, partner.
I think he's a professional. But I'm a DJ, so I'm always music first.
I personally know his publicist, so I'm sure I could get us some exclusive things to partner, right, Jay?
Oh yeah, of course, right. Of course. And we could get y'all some. We could get y'all some unreleased music so we could preview it on here. That would be tough.
How about it?
Hey, you put it on the live or something. I mean, we don't want people to record it. Also, hey.
What do we do at VPR? We drop the exclusive. We've never changed.
And Jay, I would love to get a few drops for Qiana and myself from you. You know what I mean? I'll send over the scripts if you get a few drops from you, because I'm looking forward to that also.
Of course.
And shout out to all the people who are tuning into our Instagram and our Facebook right now. Venus, thank you.
And YouTube and Qiana. VPRradio.org. We appreciate you and we love you for watching.
So my last question to you, Jay, right?
Yes, sir.
Because I before I hopped on the camera today, I was having a discussion. I don't know your age, and I won't ask it here. How do you find yourself marketing on TikTok? Because I see a lot of artists are hesitant with it on how they approach it. Are you on TikTok?
Yeah, I'm big on TikTok.
You big on TikTok?
Yeah.
I gotta go look.
We going more viral. I had a family TikTok. I would say based off I had a family TikTok, and I'm at like 103,000 followers on there. But I've been doing that for like the last year or two. But I really learned how TikTok worked and everything just from having that page. So then I created my music page, and I'm at like 35,000 followers on there now, and that's in like 3 months. But I'm just gonna keep going and keep building it every day. But TikTok is very imperative, man. Instagram, Facebook, just being active on everything is very, very imperative.
And active the right way, right? Everything can't be buy my music. I'm not
getting on TikTok to dance, Qiana. Right. I can't do the dances, Qiana. I'm not learning it.
You don't have to dance. You're interesting. Talk your shit. Like,
it ain't nothing wrong with the dances. Why people don't want to dance on there?
I dance. I'm a Caribbean dude. I'm a wild waist like Bobby Shmurda. They want me to do like choreographed dances, bro. Come on, you gotta work with me.
You don't have to do choreography, partner. You do whatever you want.
I only asked that because I've been seeing like some shaming posts and tweets just about men dancing on TikTok and stuff like that.
Really? Why?
Yeah. I seen a couple.
It's been a thing, Kiana. It's a thing. It's a
Yeah,
thing.
it's been a little thing.
4 days to a week. It's been a thing.
Everything is a thing. I'm so over human beings. You know what I mean? Like, first of all, dancing is great. It makes you feel great. It releases endorphins. It actually makes you happy. It physically and mentally makes you happy. So if you have a problem with dancing, bro, you need to like stop. For real. Like, y'all are angry. And I know you don't have a problem with dance. You're just like, I don't want to dance. And I think that that's an association with TikTok where business owners, like, you know, I don't want to get on there and dance. That's not my thing. But you don't have to. Get on there and be
I post my content.
Yeah, you could be you. You could talk to people, give game. You could sing. You could make funny faces. I seen somebody get 40 million off doing this with the eyes.
Which is crazy.
What
They have it where you can make noises. What's that called? Because my daughter
ASMR, the thing where it's like that in the headphones.
Yeah. Right. You're making small noises.
I seen Cardi B doing it. She was like, "Oh," in my ear. I was just like, "Oh, I got the bag for it," so I get it. VPR, you're rocking with the one and only DJ FMI, of course, Qianathegoddess.
Yeah, man.
Jay, where can everybody find you on all your social medias, my brother?
Y'all make sure y'all go follow me at JAYCOPES_. That's Jacopes _ That's on Instagram, but it's Jacopes on everything else, y'all. TikTok, Facebook, YouTube, Twitter, everything. Make sure y'all
go check his TikTok too, because now go run it up for my man. You feel me?
Go run it up. Come on, y'all. For sure.
And make sure you get our music. We appreciate you. We would love to have you back on when you're releasing some more music, but we appreciate you being here today, and we look forward to getting those exclusive tracks, which we will definitely release. Do you have any final words that you want to leave to everyone that's watching and listening today?
No, Kiana and DJ FMI, I want to say thank you and VPR for having me, and I look forward to seeing y'all soon, for sure.
Definitely.
I appreciate it, bro.
Have a wonderful day. Stay positive, Jay.
You too. Thank you.
All right, Jay, I'm going to check you.
All right, y'all.
Doing great things, man. This is why I love our guests, partner.
Yes.
That's why I love our guests, man.
Kiana, I feel like we just leave Thursday mornings flowing away with purple all around us like we Prince, and it feels good. It felt great having Jay up here. It felt great having a conversation with you that touched home. It felt great having a conversation with you, VPR.
Yes.
And it touched home whoever's watching. Yes. So, happy Thursday, guys.
We love you all. So FMI, I'm going to ask you to leave our final positive words because I'm feeling all your great energy and I just want the world to suck it up.
All right, VPR. When life hands you lemons, book a plane ticket to DR because that's exactly what I'm doing because I'm leaving in the morning.
Okay.
I'm going to be posting on the VPR page, so content will be rolling in. YouTube videos will be up and things will be on time. Thank you for tuning in to VPR, everybody.
Yeah, we appreciate you all. And, just keep emitting the love out into the world because we need it. The more love that we put out, the more love we can bring back in. So we appreciate you. We will see you next week for another banging ass episode of VPR Radio. And you guys be great, okay? Love you for watching.